Hey guys, today we're gonna ask ourselves a question. Is MMA a sport or is it just human cockfighting? What are the arguments for it and what are the arguments against it? We are also going to analyze if this is something that is being used for a nefarious reason. Now let's cut to the chase. If we analyze MMA just like boxing and other combat sports, where people really hurt each other and there are real life consequences to losing a fight, we are asking ourselves morally if this is even something that should be done in the first place. Second of all, is the damage taken from this endeavor even worth all of the money that those athletes get in the end of the day, or if they even get that much? First of all, when you start MMA, you start on the regional scene. You start as an amateur and you go on to pro fights. And granted, not many people do this sport, but out of the thousands of people that participate in it, probably 20 of them are gonna be successful in the sport. The other ones we don't know about, they get forgotten, they have injuries, they cannot continue, there is something else going on, maybe they're not making enough money and they have to retire from the sport early. So we are left, of course, with less competitors who become professional, successful fighters. In the meantime, winning or losing, they are taking damage to the body and also the joints, and not to mention the brain. When we say MMA is a sport, what do we actually mean by that? Well, let's get it out of the way. MMA is a sport as far as preparation goes. When you have to get physically fit, you have to have the endurance, the agility, the strength, and the technique. Then you are preparing yourself to be physically fit for the sport. That makes it a sport to practice. Now, as soon as you get inside the cage is when things can be questioned. The act of violence that happens inside the cage, the blood, the injuries the fighters suffer, is what makes this a valid reason this isn't a sport and just human cockfighting in the end of the day. And what exactly of an effect has it on the viewer? Well, I can tell you one thing, we are desensitized when it comes to violence. If this was shown 30 years ago, and it of course was, people had a different opinion about it. They weren't as receptive as they are today. It's because you are seeing two human beings trying to hurt each other, even going out of their way to try to kill each other in a cage for entertainment purposes. And there is a referee in between them to stop them from doing that, of course, but the display of martial arts in a brutal way is a morally questionable endeavor. I'm not telling anyone not to watch MMA, nor am I telling anyone not to participate in it. I myself am a huge fan. I practice this sport for a while. We have to keep it real and say it how it is. It is not a sport. The only thing that it is a sport is the preparation for the craft. Everything else is barbarism. And we, the viewers, get a dopamine hit out of it. That's the honest truth about that. And the other thing we also have to analyze is who are the people that are profiting from it. In the case of the UFC, which is the biggest organization right now, they are making billions from fighters fighting on their platform. If something as dangerous as MMA is going on, at least you will expect them to be paid like other athletes. The problem with paying those fighters that much money is that if you pay them so much money, they are going to retire early and they're not gonna come back. So they have to keep them in a rat race where they make enough money to cover their bills, pay their coaches and the gym, but not enough to be set free. That's just the truth of it. And those fighters who make a great amount of money are just few and far in between. Since this is a really young sport, we don't even know the full effect of contact sport, but we can say it's likely like boxing, only with more joint damage. And the reason people like Donald Trump are interested that people watch sports is because it's a way to keep them entertained without them questioning too much on what's going on behind the curtains. That's why it's being used for political purposes as well. A great recent example was the UFC White House event that took place less than 1 week ago. But just to summarize, I don't think cage fighting is a sport. I think the preparation for an MMA fight is a sport. Acting out on it is just barbarism, and even though I'm a big fan of it, I have to keep it real and say it how it is. If you guys agree with me about it, let me know in the comment section below, and if not, I would also like to hear it. Thanks for watching, have a nice day.